morning, everyone. I'm Anne Marie Green.
And I'm Vladimir Jute. Thanks for joining us. Rescues in Southern California continue this morning after torrential rainfall triggered deadly mudslides. Authorities in Santa Barbara County are still trying to reach new areas and dig into the destruction to find survivors. Officials say at least 15 people are confirmed dead, and that number may rise. Around 25 others were injured. More than 20 people are unaccounted for.
Over 50 people had to be airlifted to safety after being stranded in their homes for hours. Officials estimate only 10 to 15% of people living in the mandatory evacuation zone actually complied. Emergency responders say within 3 hours they received more than 600 calls for help.
And Carter Evans joins us now from Montecito. Carter, walk us through the extent of the damage there. It looks really, really bad.
It is bad, and I want to explain something first. A lot of people, we talk about mudslides, and you think of this slushy mud that's maybe 2-3 feet deep that you've seen us walking around, and it's really a debris flow, and this is the type of debris that's coming down in that mud. Now, imagine that this tree is flying down what's normally a creek. Come take a look at this. This is what it's normally like over here. This is the creek. So imagine that turning into a raging river, and you've got trees and boulders the size of cars flying down. Well, here's what you get. It ripped the front right off of this house. You can see the brown on the wall there. That's where the mud level was. And this house is actually in relatively good condition in comparison. You look over here, and I want to see if we can get to that pile right behind the palm tree. If there was a house back there, it doesn't look like there's much left in that debris, and that's why this is such a problem. Also, imagine what it's like to search for people in all of this mess. I mean, that's what they're looking for right now. They're searching for survivors, but they're also finding the worst in many cases as well.
Why do you suppose so few homeowners who were told that they should probably evacuate, why do you think so few actually did? Did they not understand the threat, or did they run out of time? Because it appears as if this can happen, this sort of thing can happen quite rapidly, and it's difficult to get out. But why do you suppose that is?
You know, all of this is so random where this occurs. The burn area isn't directly behind here, at least very close, so people may not have felt that there was as much of a threat. A lot of people did evacuate, but it was just bad news for some of the people who remained. A lot of the people who remained in some parts of the county here were not in evacuation areas, yet when it all came down, it turns out they should have left. So it's a really hard situation to predict, and that's why some people remained. Also, a lot of people just don't want to evacuate. They want to stay and take care of their homes. And frankly, I've covered a lot of mudslides, and I've never seen anything like this. So clearly, people were not expecting it.
And Carter, what is the progress being made on search for survivors and those that are missing?
Well, you know, they've been making progress throughout the night, but there are still people who are unaccounted for, and that's why that search is going to continue today. You know, as each hour passes, the likelihood of finding survivors is getting smaller. But, you know, I think people are still keeping their hope up out here and trying to do the best that they can while they search through all this rubble, and then eventually it's going to turn it into a recovery operation as well. We were told to expect the death toll to rise.
Carter, I can see sunny skies behind you. Do you know what the forecast is?
Hey, clear skies for the next several days, and it's going to be this perfect California weather, and it's ironic because this storm was so short. Not only was the storm so short, it lasted about 24 hours, but the torrential rain that led up to these mudslides, in many cases, only lasted about 15 minutes. It was hard rain for about 15 minutes, and you've got these hillsides that were scorched by fires. There was nothing to hold all that mud and dirt in place, and it just came rolling down the hill.
Carter Evans in Montecito, California. Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with those that are there. Thank you for your reporting.